Welcome to the Joy of Building with me, Abby, or sometimes I go by Stingbug. This is a little Bob Ross inspired Minecraft series focused on the joy of building some stuff in Minecraft Survival in this area, and going through my thought process kind of Bob Ross style. Now for today's build, I'd like to build something around this area. I've been chopping down some trees here. These aren't, I guess, about ready to grow, and I'd like to build a little logging facility to make this feel a little bit less out of place, because you're gonna need a lot, or at least I'm gonna need a lot of wood later on, so it's good to start that early. And I think I'm going to do a long building that kind of goes through this area, so it kind of serves as a background for this building if you're looking at it from the shore. And I don't want it to take up this whole building space from this area, though you're going to be mostly seeing the trees. So I think we're going to go down this way a decent amount. And we can, of course, move the trees later on. And I'm spacing them out 3 wide because I have a plan to do some archways, and 3 wide is pretty good for archways. And I think we're just going to do a square for right now. This is 5 blocks, which is pretty good. Then on these pillars, I'm going to build 3 up with jungle wood, and we can strip these, which should give a cute little pillar. I have my torches in my offhand, a little happy accident, and it'll add just a little bit of a support structure into the main wood which we've been using. There also was a creeper explosion here, and I turned it into a little rock. I think it's cute. It's a little happy accident, and this is kind of what I want to do with most creeper explosions that happen in the area. I just want to take it as an opportunity to build something cute. And I think this fits the bill. And then I think we're going to continue this over with jungle logs to create a little bit of the shape that we're gonna want long term. Then from here, I want to do some archways. So I think I want to do these out of both birch and bamboo. And if we do something like that is the wrong thing, a little happy accident, I think that will look good. So bamboo on the bottom, birch kind of in the middle, and birch is a little bit weird because it has this like totally white center. It's the only type of trapdoor which kind of looks like this, and to that end it's a little bit hard to use compared to the other ones, but I think it looks good as a highlight especially. And then sometimes we can do some birch on the corners if we want to. It's okay to change up the pattern when you feel like it, you know? It's not, life isn't always in a simple pattern, and a lot of times when you're building in Minecraft, you're kind of trying to imitate things that you've seen in real life or recognize. Yeah, and I think that looks good. Then on this middle, we'll do some jungle wood across, a pillar in the middle, and then we can do, going inwards, a very similar pattern to what we had before. Something like that. And then it will also be broken up later, and we'll change this for some polished granite, which I don't have on me right now. There we go. I think that looks good. We could also extend it out by 1 right here, which I think would look pretty good. And then if we change this to right here, it will give a bit of a curved look to what was pretty flat and kind of boring before. Yeah, I like that. Definitely this is gonna get smoothed over when we put a roof, which I think we can work on. Now, I'm gonna be doing a very similar roof to what we had there. Now, for this roof, I want to start with a ridge of slabs. And I think it's okay to use some of the jungle on jungle, though it is a little bit similar in color. I think we can definitely mix it more with these polished granite. And then for the front area of this, I'm going to extend this down by 1. And we won't go all the way to the corners, potentially. We might also change our mind on that. And I don't think we can. We can put trapdoors under it right now, and then trapdoors over right here. We'll need more of the jungle ones, but I do want to put a few oak in the center here because they're a little bit darker. And then we move these here. I'll put 1 oak trapdoor on each side under it, and then we'll put some jungle trapdoors, which will give it a little bit of a brighter look. And yeah, I like that. We'll have to put some supports down, which we can do with granite walls and jungle fences. Yeah, I love that. Gives it a little bit of a hangover, a little bit of a lip. And we could even fill some of this in under here just so the actual top of it blends in a little bit better. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll continue the roof up here with 1 more layer of slabs on this area. For the roof here, we're gonna do our similar acacia trim all the way around. And for the middle section, since it's 3x3, I think we can just get away with doing a whole line of acacia wood. And from a distance, yeah, I like that. It's a good addition to this area, especially. And then for the floor, I've done a little bit of a blending of some stonish colors, which will break up the monotony of the coarse dirt, but the coarse dirt will give a nice look here, and most importantly, won't turn to grass. Yeah, and I'm liking how that looks. We're definitely gonna have to do a little path as well, which attaches everything. Paths really help make stuff look a lot more ingrained in the Minecraft world. Some stone on the edges will make this look more like a treaded path. If you've ever looked in like a path in real life, the stones do kind of get pushed towards the edge or into like a middle edge. Like sometimes there's a ridge in the middle, like especially if there's a lot of like ATVs, which don't exist in Minecraft, but definitely are part of the trail ecosystem in the Berkshires here at least. And then let's do one to the farm that I made at the beginning of this episode. Now I've cleared out some space for the extension. For this I'm thinking a little bit of a silo, but also a workspace. So we'll do a bit of a circle. So there's 5 here. So imagine if we build the rest of it, that this is what the walls will be on the other sides. And then you do 1, 2, and then I'll probably do 2 space and then a 1, and then we'll do the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do 1 more, like this. Okay, there we go, and it's a little bit of an oval shape. If we go into FreeCam, we can see the actual shape like that, and I think that looks good. It attaches well to the building, and then I have a lot of different orange blocks here, so we'll do, I think, acacia at the bottom as a strip like this, and we'll cut some openings maybe for a door or a window later on. We can then strip this and layer some orange terracotta above it. So this will serve as a transition block in between the polished granite and the orange terracotta. And the orange terracotta, I think, will go up to here. And while I do want to go higher than this extension, I do think we should extend this polished granite ridge out. So let me grab some slabs. Then we can extend this out around the whole thing. And my pattern for this is to just kind of try to do blobs of either one. So a little blob of granite slabs, and then a blob of the polished version. So not totally alternating it, giving a little bit of a pattern to, like, there's a build-up of each one, but it's good to kind of show that there's a decent amount of it. because otherwise it's a little bit noisy if you just really do small bits of it, though I think both can work in a build like this. That looks good, and then I think we can keep going up a little bit farther, because I'd like this to be a taller build. I think I'll try to jump off from this tree. Woohoo! Nice! And this we're gonna have to connect with the roof. So for that, I think we can actually take a little bit away from some of this roof. So we keep this one and potentially just build up the acacia wood as a foundation and then go in like this. But now that I think about it, it goes in one and then one more. So we're gonna have to do that even farther, like this. Now, so we don't have to get down, let's look from free cam and see how that looks. And size-wise, I think that looks pretty good. I would like it to be smaller than our house, so this is about the final block we could go if we wanted to. So let's start with the same polished granite that we've been doing, and it'll be 2 high, so I'll do the first layer and then do another layer on top of it. And then we're gonna do 1 layer of acacia on the outside ridge to give it some definition, and then we're gonna do, I think, a glass roof. And the birds are going wild outside. Go off, birds. Tweet, tweet. Now from here I have a lot of glass. We're gonna use dirt as a temporary block. And I think we're just gonna do a whole ridge of glass around this entire next level. And we'll take the glass down later, or the dirt down later. Dirt is a nice temporary block for placing stuff because it breaks relatively quickly, it's easy to get, and sometimes you have to break a piece of glass early on to build with it, and that's okay. We do have a silk touch shovel, but I'm not going to be bothered to take out that golden shovel right now. Oh, okay. That's okay. It's just a happy little accident. Then I think we're going to put glass in these corners so it's a little bit more rounded on those edges, and then continue with 1 more layer of orange glass. And after every layer, I do really like to use FreeCam to look out. I highly recommend installing FreeCam if you're interested in building. It's really, really useful. And it is looking a little bit tall from when I'm looking at it from here, but when I look at it from the ground, it does have a spherical look, which is good. That's what I want from it. So I think we'll do 1 more layer and then call it quits for the night. And potentially that will be the final one as well, though we could do 1 more. Oh, and I have a temporary bed now, so I don't even have to worry about going home. for a little bit. I made this when I was mining for terracotta, which did really help. With the third level, yeah, I think that looks good. We should just probably cap it off at this point. While I'm getting like some more glass for it, I am looking at it and I think it's too tall with that extra layer. So I'll climb this little tree, we'll take it down, and then I think finish it off at this third layer, which is pretty much the height that I would like this dome to finish off. And sadly, these just have to break. With one piece of glass left and a wonderful domed sunroof done, I think that is great. I just want to add one more detail, I think, and that's going to be some acacia trapdoors. I'm going to layer a few around the edges of this dome here, so 3 on each front edge or side, I guess. And then I'm going to put a good amount on top. So starting from the center, I'll do a line, and then another center line here, and build that out a bit. And 2 more on each side. I need 1 more block, so I think I'm going to take out the center 4 blocks, add some polished granite, and we could even get rid of the glass there, but I don't think that's totally necessary. And then add that there. So now let's see this. Yeah, I think that looks good. It's a little bit undetailed so far. We need to definitely add some air pockets or holes here, and same thing down here, but I like it. And now for this section, I think I just want to blend these 2 walkways together a little bit better. So we'll put in some acacia, which will later strip, and then some orange terracotta right there, which will just blend the areas a little bit better. It looks just too segmented at this current moment. If we step back a little bit, I like how that looks. It definitely looks more together from this area. I think we could probably go out 1 or 2 more with the orange terracotta as well. Yeah, that looks nice. Now from the inside, we are going to go up about 6 blocks until we get to here. Go from this area and add a little air pocket. So we'll do some stairs there, a trapdoor there, so you'll kind of see inwards from this slab. And then I think we're gonna do acacia stairs and like that. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll do that on these, I don't have a shovel, on these other sides as well. We are just going to set up a little bit of a workstation area here. We're gonna do it on this side as well, which I think will add a little bit of consistency to the other ones. We'll get rid of some of these scaffolding blocks as well. Just 1 more left. and I'm gonna have to scaffold to it. Isn't that ironic? Now, I would like this to be one of the main entrances, but I think we do need an entrance here. It just feels like the right place for it. So we'll do a 3x3 cut out, which I think will probably get indented into the wall a little bit. So I think we'll get some acacia stairs to round this out. For the door and wall here, I'm going to put one acacia door, which is going to kind of signify the actual entrance, and then have some slightly off-color jungle trapdoors, which will contrast with the door a little bit. And yeah, I think that looks good. I was thinking about doing just jungle door, but just a jungle door, but it kind of doesn't fully stand out enough from the actual trapdoors to where it kind of looks a little bit strange. Now for the floor in here, we're gonna have to dig it all up, which I was going to make a iron shovel for, and then I think we're going to put some of this dirt into the building a little bit to look like it's kind of been trampled in and it's not evenly evenly cut off right here. And then we're gonna do some alternated birch logs on the ground as well. And over on this corner, I think I'm just gonna do a little corner of dirt. Maybe that's too much. We'll probably tone it down later. But I just want to make it look like a little bit of dirt has been trampled in. And this is really noisy. It kind of hurts my brain to look at, so we're gonna strip it all. That was always my plan, but I always like to do the stripping afterwards because it's really unnecessarily damaging to your axe to do it all at the same time. And I love that. It looks great. I think we will tone this down just a little bit. I think actually just like one little piece that we change, and yeah, it is lined up. I always want to make sure I double check, and I think let's just put a little acacia pressure plate on the outside. I could also put one here made out of birch. And then we could get rid of this one because it does let mobs in, and I think that works well. Now I've made a few stone cutters. I think we're gonna need more because 5 is not enough, but they are just made with stone and iron and are apparently placed kind of away from you. So if we put a few in here, that'll look like a sawmill, and then we'll put a few oak stairs like so, and those we can put all the way like this, and that will serve as the little work or table that the saw is actually on. Sometimes these are conveyor belts, but I think this will work well as like a large table saw. And actually, like size-wise, I think it's okay. So 1, 2, 3. It's 3 from the outside. 4. So it's basically the same length. I guess we could do one more on this side. Let's do that. And then we place it just like that, and simply we have a large table saw. Now I think we also are going to want another table saw in here, which can be made a very similar way. And we should probably sleep. Then from this area, there's kind of a balcony-ish vibe here. So I think I want to take these away, but not after putting some jungle trapdoors, which will serve as the same type of balcony. Because I do like this lip, I just don't want it quite so chunky. And then from here we can put some jungle fences that go down. That will be attached to lanterns for some lighting. And some copper grates for some larger detail for what they might be attached to, and might be even powering them through that space. And then over here, I'd like to add a hanging fence, which can be attached by some trapdoors. And that just will add some detail on that wall. We can sync those up, and I think we just want to change these out for some chiseled bookshelves and an oak stair to break up a little bit of the monotony. We'll put some of our extra dirt and wood in here for a moment, and then I think we can add some shelves on the side, which we'll put chests on, like so, for storing wood, and those will be supported by some jungle trapdoors. We can do a similar thing over here, as well as potentially just put some logs like so, and attach some rails. This is a super old build technique, but that will kind of look like a stack of logs there. I think like a boat would be good for some decoration, but I think we need another block here for the boat to be placed on, and then I need to go up and bring a boat there. It's probably a little bit more in frame. And then if I take that down, it'll still be on the side, so that's kind of like it's kind of like a product that has been made in here, and then we can potentially add like a Fletcher's stand right there, which has a bow and arrow on it. And then over on this side, we can add a very similar detail from the other edge. Which could be even copied to give a little bit of an extra airspace. And I don't have enough copper grates, but I can make some. And yeah, I like that, and it makes these look a little bit more ingrained in the space. So yeah, I think I like that, and we're about done with the interior of this build. I'm going to put some of the building materials just in here for now, and I'll organize them later off screen. And now I did take down all of the trees over here. I don't really want to build or use the trees right here. I think I want to grow them below or behind this building here. So I want to make a little rocky area that will enclose where I want to build them. And my process for rocks I haven't really talked about, so I thought I'd bring you through a few of these. I build them in a little bit of a wacky way, just however I think would look nice. I just start building some, or just placing some stone blocks in various patterns. Rocks in real life are made in a little bit of a strange way because both we as humans often like move them to different places, we'll break them, and rocks that are just naturally in environments are often eroded or weathered to their actual like environment that they're around. So you'll see a lot of rocks around shoals and stuff, on the edges of paths like I talked about before. But these rocks are going to be more moved by people. Like, these are ones that I personally have probably moved into this space. So you want to have it look a little bit manufactured, but also like they were somewhat naturally looking like like something that could be put around a proximity or a perimeter. So I generally start with like a block in the middle and then build up from there, and then have in my mind, do I want like a squishy rock, a flat rock, or a tall rock? Like, often I will do a really tall rock, which usually starts with doing a pillar up, and I'm gonna take just a few of these andesites because they are really bright, as well as the gravel is really bright. Let's put some cobble at the bottom, and then stone. We'll go cobblestone and then andesite, and then I'm gonna go andesite wall here, do a cobblestone stair this way, which will go into a slab. Into a slab there, and be attached to the stone. So potentially the stone was already here, and was why I chose to move more stones into this area to kind of complement it. And this side's pretty flat, but we can get a good idea of how one side that hasn't been detailed, but one side that has been detailed, how they look. And I'm gonna leave some of these leaves below here because that does happen in real life. Generally, rocks do blend in with mossy terrain, or with, we don't have too much more stone, with the general leafage and such. So think about rocks that are in your real life. Look at rocks in your real life. And then make a rock that you might not see. Make a rock that you want to see, learning off of those rocks that you've seen in real life. That's kind of how I think. And what I mean by a rock that you may not see, lovely zombies dying in the background, beating the devil out of them. And what I like about what I mean by rocks that you might not see in real life is that these are probably rocks that you might see in real life. They're smaller, you can step on them, though there'd probably be a sign that says stay off the rocks. And they've been moved here to obscure a path. This rock is probably one that was here before, but it definitely wouldn't be moved in here because it's too spiky. Let's be honest. If a kid climbed on this, they'd hurt themselves, and on like a hiking path, that's pretty likely. But I, as an adult, really like that. In a rock, and in my like own fantasy Minecraft worlds, those are the type of rocks that I make. I'm also personally learning that I really like the look of the fences in the corners between blocks. They look really nice, and I think that is something that will keep up as this goes on. And the nice thing about having these stone cutters, even though it's a wood mill, is that I can make some more. With all the tall grass cut, I think we can call this rock garden slash arbory area pretty done. And I think we just take out this dirt pillar from before. And I think I'm happy with everything that we've done this episode. So let's give a little tour of the local area, and whew, that was a big spike. So from our little starter base, I think I am happy with this addition, and it will help with doing, yes, that's the word, it's gonna help with doing the rest of it a lot more. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and these builds. If you did, please consider hitting the like button, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing. I've been Abby, I sometimes go by Stinkbug, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!